it's JK back with you here, and welcome back to FUNNELIZE. We're going to jump in and talk about a very simple but very effective Facebook advertising blueprint that you can use for your retargeting. Now, I do want to point out before we continue that FUNNELIZE is not a Facebook advertising course, so I'm not going to be covering any type of advanced tactics. We're not going to be jumping into video ads and different blueprints that you can use for creating a really effective video. This is not what this course is all about. This course is about setting up funnels. I did want to include content in here about how to actually put your retargeting together. Since I've shown you how to install the pixel and how to create your custom audiences, I figured that this module would be incomplete if I didn't at least give you a very simple blueprint that you'd be able to follow. If you do want to learn more about Facebook advertising, I've got a link underneath this video where you can go and check out my Facebook Ads Masterclass. It's a program I released earlier in the year, and it is very, very good at teaching you some of the more advanced concepts inside of Facebook advertising. That being said, let's jump in and talk about the simple FB retargeting blueprint. Now remember, this is nothing fancy. This is just going to be the basics. We're going to run through everything in one video. I recommend you follow along if you are new to Facebook advertising, because you are actually going to get quite a bit out of this. Now, the first thing I'm going to point out is that we're going to be using an image ad for our simple Facebook ad blueprint. We're not going to be doing a video ad, and the reason for that is simple. A lot of people see video ads and they think that video ads are better, and in a number of more advanced ways, they're better for engagement and things like that, which is better for other things. However, a lot of people have the idea that if they can't get results with an image ad, they think for some magical reason, if they start running a video ad, they'll all of a sudden get results, and that's not how it works. If you can't get results with an image ad, which is much more simple to put together, you are not going to get results with a video ad. So with that in mind, we're only going to focus on building a simple image ad inside of Facebook. We're also going to talk about some minimal but effective ad copy. Again, FUNNELIZE is not a ad copy course. If you want to learn more about Facebook ad copy, check out the link down below this video for the Ads Masters program. We are going to be focusing on the content that I talked about inside the Perfect Lead Magnet module. So if you have not completed that module, I recommend you go check it out because it helps you put together an amazingly effective lead magnet. But if you just to go and refresh your memory there, if you go and take a look at the problem and promise lessons inside of that module, that's going to be basically what puts together our ad copy for our simple FB retargeting blueprint ad. We're also going to be covering very minimal placements. We're not going to be showing this up on Instagram, or not going to be using the audience network. We're just going to have this ad show up in the desktop and mobile news feeds. And we are going to be using a conversion-based objective. There's a bunch of different objectives that you can use in Facebook, including traffic and video views and a whole bunch of other ones. We're just using a conversion-based objective. We want people to get onto your list, and that means by opting into your squeeze page to get to your boost page. Now, in order to have a conversion-based objective, you need to do one extra, very small, very quick thing with your Facebook pixel. I'm going to show you how to do that. All that being said, this is just going to be one straight through marathon of a video. I'm not going to break this up into separate sections. It is a simple blueprint designed for you to follow from beginning to end. So with that being said, let's go ahead, jump in, and we're going to start off with that conversion-based objective and making that extra little tweak to your Facebook pixel before we continue. So let's jump in and take a look at exactly how to do that. All right, so let's jump in here and start working on our Facebook conversion pixel event. So we have here a dummy opt-in page and we have a dummy boost page. And I know this is just off screen, but I'm just clicking on the little Chrome extension here for Facebook Pixel Helper. And you can see here that the page view pixel is installed on this page, on our boost page here. What we need to do is make sure that we tell Facebook that anybody who lands on this page has actually converted for us. Because if we're going to create a conversion-based objective in Facebook, where we're telling Facebook, find everybody who's most likely to go and actually become a lead for us, we need to tell them the type of people who land on this page, and therefore those are the kind of people who are leads. So if, let's say, John Smith, who lives in New York City, lands on this page and is classed as a lead, because we're going to have a little lead icon up here, a little lead pixel, then Facebook is able to take that information for John Smith, and it's able to say, well, it looks like John Smith is this age, these are the type of interests that he has, and it's going to take your retargeting ad and show it to more people who are like John Smith, and it's going to automatically optimize itself to do that. It's not going to be able to do that unless we have the little lead pixel up here. So what we need to do is actually add this code onto the page to actually tell Facebook that anyone who lands on the boost page is going to be a lead. Now, the worst thing that you could possibly do is add the lead pixel to the opt-in page, because anyone who lands on the opt-in page is not a lead. We only care about people who land on the boost page as being a lead. So what we want to do is only install this little lead code onto the boost page. That's the only page that should have your lead code on there. So I'm going to show you how to do this in WordPress, and it's going to be basically the same process if you're using ClickFunnels, lead pages, whatever page builder you're using. It's incredibly simple. So I'm going to go here to my, let's go back to the boost page. I'm going to go here to edit page, just to take me into, actually let's go to the dashboard. Let's go to settings. We're going to go into the plugin that I installed back when I showed you how to install the Facebook pixel. And this is the header footer script provided by the plugin called Sogo. I recommend you check out the Facebook pixel video if you are unfamiliar with that. And you can see here in the code we have our Facebook pixel. So all I'm going to do is just grab this pixel code right here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to my boost page right here. And once this page loads up, if I scroll down to the bottom, we want this script to only appear on this particular page. Now again, I want to point out, whatever page builder you're using, there's 100% going to be the option to add a code onto one specific page or into every single page. Your Facebook pixel is going to go onto every single page, but only the lead code is going to go onto your boost page. That's the only page you want to put this code. So I'm just going to paste it in here like this, and where it says page view, okay, I'm going to change that to the word lead with a capital L. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to keep these quotation marks in here. I'm not going to change anything else. I'm just literally changing that one word. And now I'm going to go update this page. And I'm going to go to visit the page. And now if I open up my little pixel helper, you'll see we have the word lead in here. And that means that everybody who lands on the boost page is now a lead for us. If I go back here to my dummy opt-in page, I will, let me just move this out of the way here. I will go and refresh the page. And we will see at the top here, it does not say lead. We only want it to say lead on our boost page, okay? So that part's really important. Now there are different ways that you can actually go and get the lead code on the page. One thing you're able to do is just install like 3 lines of code, but in WordPress specifically, that doesn't always work. So if you do it the way I just showed you, by actually grabbing your entire Facebook pixel and just changing the word page view to the word lead, it's not going to affect anything. It's not going to do anything negative for you. It's just going to absolutely 100% make sure that anyone who lands on this page will be tagged as a lead. So that's the first thing you need to do. If you've got that done, perfect. Make sure you have that done. Make sure it's tested and it is working correctly before you continue. If you get a little problem symbol or a little red sign here, something like that, reach out to the creator of your page building software, go to their support desk and say, here's what you're trying to do. I guarantee you they will know how to do it because it's probably something they get asked very regularly. So now that we've got that done, the next thing we're going to need to do is actually design our Facebook ad. Okay, so before we go in and start building the campaign, we need to decide what the image is actually going to look like. So to do that, we're going to use something called Canva. Now, I've put a link to this just underneath this video. It's a free software to go and use. Once you log in and create your free account, you'll be taken onto this page right here. Click on Create a Design. There's a bunch of cool things that you're able to make with Canva completely for free. I'm just going to type in Facebook ad, and it's going to give me a bunch of very easy to use templates here for my Facebook ad. And as you can see, there are tons and tons, and you can keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And there are a bunch of templates. I mean, there's so many amazingly good ones in here. Canva is just incredible that they give this all away for free. So if you've never used this before, there's a bunch of stuff you can get distracted by. You can make some really cool Instagram posts and things like that, but we're just going to use the Facebook ads template for this example. Now what we're going to do, there's a bunch of templates here. You can choose whichever one you think is going to work best for you. If you have a restaurant or a pizza place, this is a great looking one. What I'm going to do is just grab the top one here just for convenience sake, and we're going to use this as our actual Facebook image ad. Okay, but this doesn't really make any sense because I'm going to be using my ultimate swipe file as my actual lead magnet for this ad, and having a salad in the background clearly doesn't work. So the other thing you can do, I've put a link to this website underneath the video as well, is go to a website called Pexels. Now, Pexels is a free stock photography website. The pictures on here are amazingly good. You're not going to get as many as you would get with a paid stock photography website, but the images are still really good. Now, here's what you don't want to do. Let's say you are in the internet marketing niche. You want to cater to online entrepreneurs. A lot of people come in here and just go marketing. And then they'll start looking for marketing related stock photos and think, oh, that looks good, or this looks good. And yeah, they look fine for, PowerPoint slides and stuff like that, but they look like crap for an ad. So don't do that. If you want to if you want to really have a very simple idea of what makes an image ad particularly good on Facebook, it is conveying a feeling, okay? And the best way to do that is with a face. So you want to look for someone who's happy or confused, depending on what angle you want to write your actual ad copy from. The best thing you can do is just grab a picture of someone who looks like you want your prospect to feel, whether it's confused or happy or angry or sad, whatever it might be. You want to just grab a prospect, grab an image here who's going to match what your target audience should feel. So I like this one in particular, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab this image. So let me pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and save this image of this woman, and then I'll show you how to put this into Canva and start editing it. All right, I've gone ahead and saved that image. I'm back over here to the Canva editor, and what we're going to do is go here to Uploads. We're going to go Upload an Image. I'm going to go here to my desktop. I'm going to grab this happy woman and wait for that to load. It's quite a big file, so it's just going to take a couple seconds here. And there we go. Once it's loaded in, there's a couple things you can do. Now, if I just grab the image and drop it here in the background, as you can see, it's going to crop it automatically and make it look really cool and really nice. That's great. If I wanted to say keep the actual background that I had, let's say for some reason I wanted to keep that image of a salad, but I just wanted to have, say, my logo floating off here to the side, don't actually do that. But if you just wanted to do that, what you can do is instead of clicking and dragging the image, just click it once and it'll just drag it right in here, and you're able to resize it and put it anywhere you want. Now that looks like crap, so I'm not actually going to do that, but I just wanted to point out, because that was driving me crazy. Every time I want to just drag this image in here, it makes it the background, and that doesn't look good. So if you want to just have an image pop in here, just go ahead and click it just like that, or click it just like that, and you can see you're able to now layer and scale the images around. So I wanted to point that out because that was driving me crazy for the longest time. So we want to go here and change this little icon down here at the bottom, this little text, because obviously we're not selling a recipe book. So I want to go and change this to, again, this is going to vary based on your actual lead magnet that you're giving away. Let's just call it the ultimate swipe file. And we'll change this here to 59 headline templates. Okay. Now, if you're not a fan of the font here, say you want to change the font, all you got to do is just highlight all the font. And up here at the top, you can see you're able to go in here and choose a bunch of different fonts. I'm actually kind of happy with that one, so I'm going to keep that. You can go in here and change the size, change the color, make it bold, make it italicized, whichever you prefer. And then down here, you can click on Learn Today. I'm just going to go and change this to Download. And there we go. That is basically what our image is going to look like. It looks way better to use a face because it's going to connect with someone when they see this picture, rather than going over onto Pexels and grabbing an image of a keyboard or something like that, because everybody does this, and whenever I see this, it just looks like you'd put 2 seconds worth of effort and thought into what you wanted to put together. Oh, I work in marketing, so let me grab a marketing image. That's not going to work. Here's something that actually looks much, much better. It conveys a feeling of happiness, emotion. She's looking right at the camera, and the goal of your image when someone's scrolling through their newsfeed is to get them to stop. That's it. Your image here is not going to do the selling for you. We want to create a little bit of curiosity, but the main thing we want to do is just get them to stop scrolling and read what our copy says, and then make their decision from that point. So I'm pretty happy with this. So I'm going to go here to download. I'm going to save this as a PNG file. And now with those two things done, we're actually able to jump in and start putting together our campaign, our ad set, and our actual ad that we're going to use for retargeting. So I have my ads manager up here. We have our trusty little training portal set up here. So what I'm going to do is go and create a new campaign. And again, follow along. If it's the first time ever using Facebook ads, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to click on. So campaign name, we're just going to call this test campaign. All right, you're always going to call it whatever you want, but I'm just going to call it test campaign. Campaign objective, we're going to go down here to conversions. All right, don't choose traffic. You want to make sure you choose conversions here. Ignore these two icons. Go here to ad set name. We're just going to call this ad set 1 and add 1 over here and hit save to draft. This little guy is going to pop out of the side right over here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click on the little button here that says ad set. And if this little screen doesn't pop out of the side of the screen for you, you're going to see there's a little icon right here. Go ahead and click on that, and you can click on the ad set word right here. Now Very, very simple 60-second introduction to the differences between ad sets, campaigns, and ads or creatives. So your campaign, which we created, we called it test campaign. That's where we chose the conversions objective. This is where the overall goal of your campaign is. So in this case, the overall goal is to get conversions. We want people to sign up on our opt-in page and get to our boost page where Facebook is going to tag them as a lead. That is the overall goal. The ad set level, this is where we choose all the little individual audience type pieces that exist within our campaign. So we can have one ad set that targets women in Canada. We can have another ad set that targets men in the United States. We could make those ad sets as specific or as general as we want to. You generally want to have you have to have at least one ad set, but you generally want to have at least maybe two. That might depend on your budget and so forth. In this case, I'm only going to show you how to design just one. And then the actual ad is the creative. It's the thing that people actually see when they land on, when they're scrolling through their newsfeed. This is actually what they're going to see. So let's go back here to ad set, and we need to choose our conversion event. Now, you can see here the word lead is active for me. All of the rest are in red because I haven't added these codes anywhere onto any of my sites with this test account pixel. So I'm going to choose lead. If you don't see it in green, that's totally fine. Just give it maybe a couple of seconds, maybe a couple minutes, and eventually it will show up here in green. If it doesn't show up like that after, say, an hour, you just want to go back to your boost page where you have this lead page installed. Just send it to a couple friends on Facebook Messenger. They're not going to get tagged in your audience. They're not going to get your ads or anything like that. It's just to get the pixel to fire a few times so that when you are actually creating your ad, you should see it here with the little green traffic light right here. Now, even though this says website, just ignore everything here for app and messenger. Just choose lead right here, as you can see me doing. Now scroll down here, leave these two options off. Even though they sound cool, ignore them. Down here under daily budget, this is where you're going to put in the actual amount of money that you're going to be spending per day. Now, what a lot of people do is they will choose a $5 per day budget. They'll run their ad for a day, and when they haven't got any conversions, they're going to go, well, this doesn't work. This is nonsense, blah, 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 blah. And you don't want to do that, okay? If you're going to choose $5 per day, let it run for at least a week, okay? Commit about $35 into doing this. It's not a huge amount of money, but $5 over one day isn't going to get you... I mean, sometimes you'll get a couple sales out of it, to be honest. It's really going to depend on complete luck of the draw. One day is not going to make enough difference to collect enough data to say whether or not your ad is working correctly. So just keep that in mind. If you want to run it at $5 per day, that's fine. You don't have to run it for $5 consecutively. You could run it for a day at $5, turn it off, come back 2 days later, run it for $5. I get everybody's financial situation is different. I'm not going to say go in here and do it for, $20 or $25 per day. I understand that. But if you're going to go with a small budget, $5 is the minimum you can do, give it at least 5 to 7 days of that budget. If you want to spread that out over a month, that's fine, but give it several days so you can really see what's working and what's not. All right, so just keep that in mind. Now, we're going to go down here at the start date that you can choose to start this whenever you want. If you want to start this on your next payday, that's totally fine. Whenever you want to start this is entirely up to you. And we're going to go down here to our audiences. So here is where we're actually going to choose our custom audiences. So we're going to go in here and we have our funnel gateway retargeting audience. I'm just going to go ahead and choose that. If you don't know where this came from or where I got this, go watch the video in this module where I show you how to put together Facebook custom audiences, because if you don't know what this is, you're not going to be able to continue with the rest of this process. So make sure you go and do that. So watch that video before you continue with this video. Now the locations, this is going to be specific to wherever your custom audience might live, wherever your ideal target audience is actually going to live. I'm just going to choose, in this case, worldwide. I don't always think that that's the best idea, but just for this example, I'm just going to show you worldwide. Now my audience here is going to say unavailable, just because obviously this is a test account. I have not run any traffic to either of these pages for obvious reasons. So that's why mine says unavailable. If yours says unavailable, that's okay too. If you've only got a small amount of people who have gone to your opt-in or your boost pages, that's totally fine. If you have, say, 10,000 or 20,000 people who have run to those pages, but this still says unavailable, then it's very likely that your targeting is not working correctly. So you'll probably need to speak to your page builder software, talk to their support desk, and make sure that the pixel is installed correctly on the pages that you need it to be installed on. So we're going to go down here. This is also where you would specify the age and the gender of the people that you want to target. I'm going to leave this just as default. Again, keep in mind your perfect customer, who they look like, what age they are, and the language that they speak. I'm just going to choose English all for here. Now in here under detail targeting, where you can choose interests and stuff. If we wanted to target internet marketers, we could go in here and choose a bunch of interests. You're not going to do that, and here's why. You already have your custom audience selected up here. So this is people who have already visited your opt-in page. So you don't need to go in here and specify the interests or the behaviors anymore. You can skip right over this. If I want to put in here, let's say Aweber, which is an email autoresponder, if I want to choose people interested in Aweber, it's only going to show to people who are in my custom audience who are interested in Aweber. Now that might be perfectly fine if you have a very large custom audience of several thousand people and you have a very specific lead magnet that you're giving away, but for most people watching this video, you don't want to put anything in here. Only target the people who've actually been to your opt-in page in this case, right? This is the retargeting I'm doing here, is just for people who come to the opt-in page but they don't go to the boost page. So ignore this for now. Make sure this is not checked. Okay, do not check this button at all. Leave it unchecked. If you check this, you're going to get terrible results. Do not click that. Under placements, this is where your actual creative is going to show up. So we're going to go to edit placements, and we don't want it to show on Instagram. We don't want it to show on the audience network. We don't want it to show in Messenger. We don't want it to show in any of these places on Facebook except for feeds. Okay, and we only want it to show up on mobile and desktop, which is going to be the default here anyway. So we do not want it to show up on any of these other platforms because we just want to keep this as simple as possible. If you start getting really good results, it might be a good idea to come back here into Instagram and just check that and turn on Instagram. For now though, just keeping this as a very simple blueprint. We're only going to have this show up in the news feed on both mobile and desktop devices. Now, if you wanted to, you could have one ad set run just to mobile and one ad set run just to desktop. However, I'm going to go with all devices in this case. We're going to scroll down a little bit more. And down here, we can see optimization for ad delivery. You're going to leave this checked as conversions. If for whatever reason this says something different, you want to go ahead and choose conversions. Your conversion window, this is generally going to be one click for almost everybody. If you know that yours is not one click, then great, go ahead and choose whichever your conversion window is actually going to be. For 99.9% of people, a one-day click is going to be more than sufficient for everybody. I'm not even going to explain what conversion window is, just choose one-day click in this case. Now your bid strategy, you're going to choose lowest cost. There is an option here for target cost, but again, just keeping this as simple as possible, leave it as lowest cost. You do not have a choice when you get charged. Keep this in mind. This is not like Google AdWords where you will pay per click. You're going to pay for impressions. So whenever somebody sees your ad, you're going to pay. Now it could just be a penny, it could be half a penny, it could be a tenth of a penny. It's going to depend on a bunch of different factors, namely how many people are actually in your custom audience up here. As long as you choose lowest cost up here, you will continue to get, surprise, surprise, the lowest cost possible. And that's it. All you need to do at this point here is go to your creative. There's no save button. Don't click publish or anything. It'll save all of your settings for you over here. I'm going to go back here to ad number 1. Now you want to choose the correct Facebook page here. I don't actually have one for this test account, so I'm just going to choose my JK Dowdle one here. I'm not running on Instagram, but if I was, you want to make sure that you have an Instagram account attached on here. And then for your ad, you can see there's a bunch of different options here. You can do carousels and all this and all that. We're just going to go ad with an image or video. That's it. And we just want to use an image. So I'm going to go here and upload my image into Facebook Ad Creator right here. And there we go. There's my image ad. And that's what people are going to see when they're scrolling through their newsfeed. And it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Now you can see there's a couple of other options up here. Ignore them completely. Don't click this. Don't click anything. Just make sure that we have image ad selected here, and you go ahead and you put your image in there. You can turn your image into a video. Again, ignore that. Don't do that. Not necessary whatsoever. Select the link type for your ad. We're going to choose a website. And then in here, this is our text. Now the text, let me just put in some dummy text here, is going to pop up right above the image. And then this is the URL, which is going to be the actual link to your opt-in page, right? So let me just go grab the completely dummy one here and just drop it in there just like that. Okay, this would be the link to my actual opt-in page I would want to send people over to. So your display URL is just going to be the actual domain name you have, right? So jkdaddle.com in this case. I'm going to go funnelize.jkdaddle.com. I'm not obviously going to run this ad, but it's just to give you a quick idea of what this would actually look like. So next thing we're going to do is actually go and put in our ad text at the top here. Now this is, let me just scroll this into the window here. For the online startup, the ultimate guide to getting more sales without spending a penny on ads. This right here is the promise that I put together way back inside the perfect lead magnet module. So you're going to go and grab whatever you chose there, whatever you put together in that module. You're going to choose that and put it right in here just like this. Make sure it's formatted correctly. Just like that. For the online startup, the ultimate guide to getting more sales without spending a penny on ads. This is going to be kind of our main sexy piece of text that we want to have up here. I'm just going to go push that down, and at the top, I'm going to go just very simple, online, let's say online entrepreneurs. Are you frustrated with trying to get more leads online? All right, very, very simple. And then we have our little promise here, which is basically leading them into the headline that they're going to see when they come onto our opt-in page. And again, you should remember that based on the funnel gateway that we put together when I explained to you all about your opt-in page. So for the online startup, the ultimate guide to getting more sales without spending a penny on ads, we have a little call out at the top here with a simple question. Very, very simple. We're not going to go any more detail than that. That's all you're going to need to get this thing started off and kicked off correctly. Your headline here at the top, this is going to be right here. So we're just going to go some kind of action verb like download, get, start, something like that. We're going to go download swipe file or download templates or download toolkit, whatever it is that you're giving away. You're just going to go ahead and put that next to the word download. For the call to action, generally download is pretty good. And then the newsfeed link description, that's going to be this little bit of text on here. As you can see, you don't get much to work with, so it's sometimes better to just leave it out entirely, to be honest. Just go with the headline, the display URL, the call to action button, the text, and the actual image. And make sure this is going to be, for whatever reason, in case this is not selected, make sure that this is selected here and it actually says the name of your Facebook pixel in this little section right here. So that's basically it. You've now put together a very simple but very effective retargeting ad inside of Facebook. All you do at this point is go and hit publish, and it's going to go and make sure that this ad is approved, everything is perfectly fine, and then you're going to start getting traffic anywhere from 6 to 10 hours after it is actually approved. So once you hit publish and you actually get a message back and it says, hey, your ad is approved, and you don't see clicks and traffic coming in right away, don't worry, that's perfectly fine. Give it about 24 hours. If you still have absolutely no impressions or anything, it's probably a good idea to actually reach out to Facebook support, but it's very, very rare that that would ever actually happen. So go ahead and hit publish, send out your ad over to your target audience, and start getting that retargeting back to your opt-in page. Thanks so much for checking out this video. In the next one, we're going to do a very simple blueprint for the Google Display Network. My name is JK Dowdle. This is FUNNELIZE, and I'll see you inside the next video.